I want to see you do that again in real life sometime.
Yeah, that would be cool.
What's that? What happened? What did we do? Where was it?
Good morning. Welcome to Thursday, where Corey and I sometimes come on here and do shows with really important people about really important topics. And I'm not joking. It's 100% serious. You know, sometimes we don't. But when we've got updates, we usually reserve a Thursday for that. And we're excited to bring back Juan, who's, from Nefty Blocks. And mostly that's probably where you know him from, also from Alpaca Worlds. But yeah, we're super excited to have you here for, I guess, our first episode ever of Shop Talk with Nefty Blocks. So how are you, Juan? And welcome back to the show.
Cool. Very good here. And thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, it makes so much sense to do this. We've been talking a lot about marketplaces sort of in my business circles. And everything that I have to say about it is no matter what anyone does in marketplace, they're chasing Nefty now. Like that, I don't care what chain you're on. Like what you guys are doing is fucking legit, which is fun. And really, like you just went to the community and said, and you guys are ruthless. You guys do this all the time. Like we have this conversation behind the scenes, like every other day. I'm like, oh, can you guys do this? And you're like, hold my beer or coffee or latte or whatever. And then you guys just go build it. It's brilliant, right? But that, I think, that's what has, I think, turned Nefty into the thing. Like, and for any collection that's just getting started, I tell them to ignore Atomic and go to Nefty every time.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, and we hear reviews from a lot of people who have went to Nefty, and one of the things that they always say is like, not only is the platform awesome, but like your customer service is top notch. So like you just like the nicest guys in the space, doing some of the most groundbreaking work in the space. Like it's just amazing to be witness to that, actually.
Yeah, it's good shit. So what do you guys got going on now?
Yeah, so many things going on now, and I don't know, where should we start, with the small announcements or with the big announcements?
Okay, small. So maybe just an update for where we're at now, right? Because like one thing I noticed over the last week, I have some Nefty staked, and I actually got some Nefty, and like it was a decent amount. I don't remember the exact amount or whatever, but I was like, that's pretty fucking good. So, and that's, I think, from the sales that are going on. So basically, everybody that has Nefty staked is getting a percentage of those sales. So I have that more or less right.
Yes, indeed, and not in. You don't even have to stake Nefty. It's of course staking Nefty will boost the amount of Nefty that you get as a reward every week. But even if you don't, if you're not staking, you should be able to claim some Nefty every week if you were buying or selling on the platform.
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that people should check their. Well, if you're on the NeftyBlocks site and you go to where you log in, wallet, and then you can go and check if you have any rewards. I think that's something that many people hasn't done, and maybe they should be doing.
I did. I was excited about it. All right.
Well,
so
and if I recall correctly, I think when I tried to do something on Nefty, there was a little pop-up that said like, yeah, you have like a reward, and you can just click. I think that was in there as well. So it's kind of cool that like you guys alert us, right? So it kind of freaked me out because I was like, what? Like somebody wants to give me money and I have to click a button for it? I was like, wait a minute, this isn't right. No, this doesn't happen. But I was like, did a little bit of research. I'm like, oh, it's Nefty Blocks. They're giving out rewards. So it was good. But normally be careful, right? Like don't click on links. But if you're within the Nefty Blocks platform, of course, it's totally cool. But I noticed, I just want to bring this out there again. I went into blocks.io and I was looking at my account, and there was another scam link from Uniswap. Click claim your uni. So whenever you find, whenever you want to interact with somebody like Nefty Blocks and collect their rewards, make sure you sign in your account yourself. Don't follow any links because we don't want anyone to get screwed or injured, right? So just be very careful out there when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, wonder if I should say, we'll save your. All right. So we're gonna launch Blue Deck on October 14th.
Yes. And what will happen there?
So we're gonna sell memberships on Nefty Blocks.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
I mean,
That's cool. And you will be able to set to configure the drops for those memberships using multiple coins, not anymore only Wax or Nifty. So now you will be able to use Upliftium, you will be able to use Sheeple, and you will be able to use Yoshi Box to pay for your drops.
Show over. Like, I want to unscrew this mic and just drop it. Bong.
So you're telling me there's a use case for Yoshi Bucks and a Lithium, like a month after
Shipple?
we crystallized it, and
the
Shipple,
Shibu
like,
Inu of the Wax blockchain is going to be able to
Right?
be used on. Yeah. So this is incredible. And so this is what we were talking about too. So I in talking to our secret dev team for Blue Deck, we've been working on whether or not we're actually going to be able to do it. I feel pretty good about actually being able to launch on the 14th, and not just selling memberships, but you're going to take that membership NFT over to Blue Deck and actually be able to use it that day. Like that's the goal, which of course is aggressive. But yeah, here's how we're going to do it. There's only ever going to be 100,000 memberships total, but the first tranche we're going to sell 10,000. First 1,000 are going to be for sale for $10. So if you get in early, you're pretty good. Price goes up by $10 every time we sell out of 1,000. But the way we're going to do it is we're going to sell 10% for Shipple, 10% for Lithium, 10%, or no, sorry, not Shipple, Nefty. We're going to use Nefty, Lithium, Yoshi, BK, and Wax. Just to like screw shit up, like for fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's gonna be fun. And really, like that like shit's gonna get crazy now.
Yes,
well,
and
crazier.
and that feature, well, right now it's available for these coins, but this is something that we should add in the near future for any collection that's staking level 3 and that has a liquidity pool that has enough liquidity to pay for the fees.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and that's something that we will communicate. What we're doing with you guys right now is like let's say like the proof of concept. We will try the concept out there. We will make sure that everything is working correctly. Especially this will help us define the liquidity requirements that we're going to ask. And once that is clear, we will enable this for level 3 collections, and we will publish the guidelines on how to be able to list your token on NeftyBlocks.
That's incredible. So for liquidity, are you going to do? Are you going to require a particular token, or like because like we're going to be setting up? I think the community already has set up. Nefty, Shipple, Nefty, Lithium, like those kind of things, right? And we're going to incentivize people to do stuff like that. Like, from the uplift, we want to make sure that there's enough depth, at least on the Lithium side. I know Yoshi's doing something similar right now with their gamification. So would you require people to do the Nefty pairs, or would you open it up to Blue or Wax?
We will open it to be Nefty or Wax.
Okay.
Initially Nefty or Wax, but it can be Blue also. I don't know. I think we can have more possibilities indeed.
I get right. Like basically, you guys need to know that you can go from whatever token to Nefty in a way that doesn't dramatically impact the prices or whatever, right? So that's why you need
that's the point.
So if you had to bounce from Wax or from Blue to Nefty or whatever, you could do that. But yeah, I find it interesting, especially considering like the tools that we're about to launch, so that any token project can actually start to incentivize the deepening of their own liquidity pools. Just how much utility is actually going to get baked into this for you guys, because it's just like you can now take anything, which is how and talk to anybody who I was talking to about Shipple last crypto cycle, and it's like this is just a joke token. It's kind of not anymore, but like it was. And I was sort of following from this premise that before too long, you're going to be able to pay whatever you want to pay, whatever token you want to pay. And the receiver will be able to receive anything they want to receive. Because all these things that we're doing with DEXs will end up just getting buried in the code right? It's any store will say, okay, I only take wax as payment. But you as the buyer would never know this because you don't need to, right? You're going to pay with Nefty and the automatic DEX that lives on the back end of the internet in 5 to 10 years. It's just going to handle all of that stuff, and because it just won't matter.
Yeah, I think that's where we should be going to. Yeah,
and this is like step one to that, right? Like we're creating the pathways so that the internet of money can just be seamless.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Let's say that this is the first step to get there.
Yeah, let's do it. I mean, that's so cool. So does that stuff work right now?
Sorry?
Does that stuff work right now?
We have that on test, and we have to only check that. Well, the contracts are already working and already tested. We are just modifying the user interface so that we can switch the coins when you configure the drop, and yes, that will be ready. I think we will publish that maybe later today or tomorrow, but it will be that will be enabled very, very soon.
I like it. Yeah, that's again, you guys are moving so far ahead of where I'm seeing other marketplaces do, and that's exciting. It's really exciting.
Yeah, and now that you mentioned that, other marketplaces, I think that is also something that we have to announce. And
Go on.
As of next week, NeftyBlocks will have a marketplace for the secondary market. So yes, but we will do it a little bit differently. You know that we have always been about the collection.
Yeah.
We started with collection sites, and the collection was able to customize their site and so on, and their blends were specific for that collection and so on, and people can see their missing NFTs and so on. So now what will come up next week is that every collection will have its own marketplace on their NeftyBlocks site. So that is what is coming up next week. And why next week? Because we needed to wait until the next liquidity mining cycle, because you will be able to mine liquidity on the marketplace too. So now, not only when you buy from Nefty drops, you are mining liquidity and getting Nefty rewards, but anything that you buy on the secondary market will also give you rewards. You will be receiving Nefty every week for any purchase that you do on Wax.
A utility token with rewards? A utility token with utility? What is happening?
What is that?
It's funny too. Like we had this little brainstorming session. Like if we had our own marketplace, what would we do? And I seriously was just like, look at Nefty. Like I think there's a couple things that we could sort of like map on functionality wise, but at the end of the day, I was like, there's not really anything that I wouldn't do that wouldn't start from learning from what Nefty's already done. Like you have to tokenize right off the bat. That reward functionality is going to be massive. The pack stuff, like how you guys got started, right? Like that doing packs. Yeah. Atomic was charging like an arm, a leg, and an ear for that, and you guys were like, yeah, or we'll just let people do it for free, right? Like that was massive. And then packs from all sorts of different other projects, and like the blender, and like all these things that now like we as like relatively large projects, we just use your tools because we like it's the smartest thing for us to do, right? Like it makes sense to even do it at scale, which is exciting. It means like you guys are very, very onto something. Which I mean, you guys already know this, but like I love ranting about you guys anyway, so I'm just gonna keep doing it.
So the secondary, if I understood this correctly, then the secondary market, like, there'll be a page per project, basically. Then, so like I can list my stuff on the Yoshi page, and somebody can go to the Yoshi page to buy that from me, or vice versa.
Yeah, but in the end, it's not about a listing on the Yoshi page or not. Whatever is listed on Atomic, you will be able to see it on the collection marketplace. Whatever you list from your collection will also be seen on Atomic. So whatever is listed on the Wax ecosystem will be for sale here. You can buy on Atomic, you can buy on Nefty, you can buy wherever you want. NFTs will be listed everywhere. It's just like with NFT Hive. If something is listed on NFT Hive, you can also buy it on Atomic, and now you will also be able to buy it on Nefty. So And yes, the only thing is that only if you buy on NeftyBlocks, you will be eligible for the rewards. Of of course, that
Do you
makes
guys
sense, right?
do you guys get fees for that?
Yes, that's that's an atomic contract, and that's open like that. Everybody who interacts with that will get
No,
a fee. Everybody
I
can
want to make
start
sure.
a
Yeah,
marketplace.
like Nefty Blocks themselves. Like I'm trying to figure out how you guys are getting the Nefty from that sale stuff. Like, are you guys getting a percentage of that? Please say yes. I hope that you are.
Yes. That's
Okay, okay.
that's how it works. That's an open standard, and it's basically like an exchange. There is a maker and a taker fee. So,
Yeah.
for example, if you list your NFTs on NeftyBlocks, but somebody buys the NFT on Atomic, then the fee is split half for NeftyBlocks, half for Atomic. If somebody lists on NFT Hive and it's bought on NeftyBlocks, then NFT Hive gets half of the fee and NeftyBlocks the other half. So it's basically
That's great.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Everybody can
Win,
do
win,
that.
win,
And-
baby.
Now,
Yeah,
I'm assuming
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the answer to this is yes, but I just want to verify, right? Like when you list, do you have the option to pay your fees in Nefty as well?
Not at the moment. At the moment, secondary market will only be using wax. But in the future, we will first introduce the possibility to pay with Nefty on the secondary market, and after that, we will go to the same possibility to pay with any other token, as long as there is a pool with enough liquidity to do it.
Well, I mean, I can wait because what's coming is pretty awesome. So there's no big deal with that little, like that's what really like, yeah, this is going to be huge. Agreed. Like looking forward to the comments just lit up. Everyone's just like, whoa, like, yeah. And it's funny because nobody ever asks you guys when. You just kind of release awesome shit and everyone's there for it. And I love it. Nobody's ever bothering you about like, hey, what are you guys doing? Because they always know that you're bringing it. And that's awesome. Like, that's great.
Yeah, and so right now it's let's say it's a relatively simple release because it's a very simple marketplace where you can list and you can buy, but we have lots of better things and better tools for the marketplace that we also want to add. They are not ready yet, but as always, we wanted to come up with something simple but useful, and then start adding functionality on top of that.
I don't think this is the case. I don't think that there are more fees, but maybe you can elaborate on that. Wabak is asking, do you have to pay more fees than directly on NFT Hive or Atomic Hub? And I think you said no, but maybe you can explain it a little bit better.
No. For the end user, it's exactly the same. It has always worked like this. When you go to the secondary market, there is always a 2% fee. That's the platform fee. That fee goes to normally, well, if you buy and list on Atomic, it goes to Atomic Hub. But when you go, for example, to NFT Hive, that 2%, it's split between Atomic and NFT Hive. And now with Nefty, it will be the same. It's the fee is split between the maker and the taker, always. But that's that will not change. That has been like that like forever. So that will continue to be like that. Also on the secondary market, you also pay the wax fee, the marketplace fee. That's something that goes to the
project, right?
Yeah, to the project, but is shared with the people who's adding liquidity to the wax ETH pool. So that's a 2% that exists, that always existed, and there's the collection fee. Of course, the collection receives a percentage of the secondary market sale. So yeah, but it's what will happen here. It's exactly the same. We're not adding any overcharges for this.
Right. Yeah, and I guess this is a easy way to look at it. If you buy on an Atomic Hub, you're choosing to give Atomic Hub that 2%. If you buy on the Nefty marketplace, you're choosing to give Nefty a portion of that 2%. Plus, you're getting kickback in the Nefty tokens and being part of that ecosystem as well. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's not really the buyer who chooses. Well, yeah. In the end, yes, it's the buyer who chooses to whom is he going to give the fees, depending on which marketplace he's buying. For example, if he buys on Nefty Hive, then he's choosing to give the fee to Nefty Hive. Sorry, NFT Hive, not Nefty. Yeah. If he buys on Nefty Blocks, he's choosing to give the fee to Nefty Blocks, and he buys on Atomic. well, he's choosing to give the fee to Atomic. That's how you choose.
And why would anyone choose Nefty Blocks? I mean, you get free Nefty for interacting. I mean, this almost sounds like capitalism to me. It's great. I love it.
Well, yeah. In the end, why would you buy somewhere else if you can get paid for buying? I really don't get it. I think there's still people who will go somewhere else, but why would you go somewhere else if you can get paid for buying? I don't know.
And,
why would you play in Minecraft where you weren't earning Upliftium? It fucking makes no sense.
Right? I mean, can we just end now? Like, seriously, I got nothing to say. Right? No, but like, where has all the sense gone in the world? Because you're right. Like we're so used to this non-transparency, the real world, that we just do things because that's what we do. But once people realize that, like, yeah, you get paid for interacting with smart contracts. When was the last time you got paid for walking into a store or like, opening a pack of baseball cards, right? Like that doesn't work in the real world, right? NFTs, the atomic hub wax, like it's really, and we're on the verge. Like I'm really excited. I don't go speechless very often, but I've really got nothing to say because like just excitement is boiling up inside about like the fact that the world is changing, and it's people like you that are contributing to the way that economics is going to be done, the way that the free market system is going to work, alongside all of the other greats in blockchain history. And it's just really, I'm just honored to be able to like watch this in real time, in real person, as you guys roll this out. It's going to be fascinating, actually.
Cool. Yeah, so that's what is coming right now, and that will be released very soon. And yeah, in general, we are working also with another set of features besides the marketplace. We are adding many features to the Super Blender now. Also, for example, now I hope this will be published. I would like to say next week. Also, I'm not 100% sure of that, but the whitelisting for super blends will be there, and proof of ownership and all of that will be there. So you will not be you will not need to burn all of the NFTs that you add to a blend. Some of them will remain usable in the future. So that's also a cool feature that's coming.
Yeah, so some people might not understand the difference between regular blends and super blends, but like regular blends, basically when you blend those assets, those original assets are gone. What's the difference with super blends then, one, for people who might not know?
Yeah, well, the difference with super blends is that you have a lot of more power. You have the possibility of having multiple outcomes. You have the possibility of selecting templates with filters depending, for example, on schemas, on a value of template attributes, and so on. But until now, when you go to a super blend, everything was burned. So from next week on, well, I hope next week, then we will be able to say this NFT is only needed for proof of ownership and to be allowed to execute the blend instead of destroying that NFT.
Again, that's another really interesting component of the marketplace, because most times we think about the fact that like if people are burning to blend, it's a deflationary supply, but now people are going to be playing with this side of it as well, right? Like you might have a membership card that is required for some certain blend to happen on some certain platform, and some of the assets will be burned to upgrade or to do that. But so that's all backed into. I'm assuming that's all backed into the code of the NFT. Can you use one NFT to blend like multiple times, or is there any restrictions on that?
It will be possible to say this NFT can be used as many times as you want, or we will be able to also mark the NFT as used, and in that case you will only be able to use it once.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so it will be in the end the choice of the collection owner.
That's very, very, very cool.
Yeah, and not for next week, but a little bit later, we will also be adding to to the Super Blender the possibility to use wildcards. So, for example, you can say here it will be any NFT or this specific NFT can be used as a wildcard and allow you to blend, for example. Or this list of NFTs can be used as a wildcard.
You're making me hungry. I want to go make a smoothie. Oh yeah. Oh, it's great. This is grand. Yeah, when this stuff goes live, please come back and we'll do a demo on air because I want people to see it. And how,
absolutely. That will be very cool. Yeah, that will be very cool. Doing a demo of all of that, and yeah, that's a little bit what's going on right now and what we are releasing in the upcoming days. Yeah, because it will be days, I guess, and.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to go back, and I'm here obviously, but I'm gonna have to go back and watch this back because there's one or two updates, but not one or two updates. Enough updates that I don't remember how many there were, but definitely 4 or 5 great updates in there, just coming out of the NeftyBlocks system, and I'm super excited. Some comments that people are excited about how they're going to be able to use their lithium now. Over with you guys. I'm excited about just seeing how much more my rewards, increase when the marketplace comes out, to be able to be over there and do my purchases from over there. It's going to stack my Nefty, which is really nice. And I mean, it's, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't even have to pull out my point card to get points. I just have to walk into the store and use it. Right. It's really...
Yeah, really exactly. You just go to the store and buy, and then you're accumulating rewards. Indeed. So that's very very important, I think. And if this works correctly, it will help us a lot there.
One question, and I love that this is the worst anyone has to say about you ever. This new improvement for the Super Blend is the cause of the delay for the new series of Alpaca on France. I mean, that's hilarious.
Well, yeah, I think that's
reinventing marketplaces.
Yeah. Okay. This is part of it. It's not all, and that's a very good question because people who's on the Alpaca Words Telegram has been asking when is the France coming and so on. And the thing is that we want to do France in a very different way, and it's not only the blends part, but we have also multiple new mechanics because right now we want the collection to be really interactive, not just saying I'm going to go and do a super blend just because it's configured. No, everything will have a purpose. There will be an itinerary, and Tupaca will be traveling from one city to the other, and you will have to take the car, and you will have to add fuel to your car, and you will have to do a lot of things. And when you get to the city, you will go to the market and buy the ingredients to prepare a very nice French recipe and so on. And we're working on all of that, but we have so much internal discussion on what should we do, what shouldn't we do, and that is what is delaying the release of Alpaca Words. And something that maybe I should not be saying it right here, we also wanted to start with NFT staking on Alpaca Words, but then we have the conflict here. Okay, what should we do? Create NFT staking only for Alpaca Words, or should we release NFT staking on NeftyBlocks and allow any collection to provide NFT staking? So we have tons of internal discussions around that, and we haven't made up our mind on how to handle that, and that's the delay on France right now.
Fair enough. I mean, so I'm just curious, and you might not even have an answer for this. What came first? The idea that you wanted to, do these really interesting things with the Alpaca series, and so you created this, thing on Nefty to be able to do it, or the idea that you created this thing on Nefty because it was just really awesome and it needed to be done for the space, and then you were like, oh, let's incorporate Alpaca Worlds into this. I'm just curious, or was it kind of hand in hand, walking down the street together type of thing?
You know, I think it's so mixed up that I never know when ideas pop up. Because, for example, when we started building things on, well, when we started building NeftyBlocks, it was because we needed the tools for alpaca words. And but then we think of something for alpaca words, and sometimes we develop it and we release it to the world before we use it for alpaca words, and then we are like, we release this and it's already so common that it's not fun anymore. We should not use it for alpaca words. Let's think of something different. And then we start, yeah. So yeah, that's how it goes.
Like, even when you're releasing something like just like your adorable alpaca stuff, like, yeah, but how do we innovate like motherfuckers while doing it? And I love that about you guys.
Yeah, you know, it's a little bit like the like our token release. We were supposed to be the first collection releasing a token that you were going to get it when you opened your pack.
Yeah,
great. Then you said, oh, you know, there's these guys from Sheeple, they want to do that. And we said,
you know,
okay, yeah.
I need to let me just say how grateful I am that we get to collaborate like this, because like Shipple's on Binance Smart Chain now. They just like, we set up the thing with Egg Chain, so like it's a little DeFi rewards on a Never Chain or whatever. Like, this was supposed to be a joke, guys. Like, and the community that's running it now, you know, both Shipples and those guys are so amazing. But I just thank you so much for letting us do that. Like that, because it now, you know, Shipple and their community can say whatever they want, but like that, like they were, you know, if not the first, then one of the first to ever experience anything like that, and it was because of you guys and you know, letting us be the crash test dummies, which, like, for real, like, that's Shipple's. Yes. That if nothing else, they'll do anything. They're like, hey, do you guys want to do a manual swap over to Binance Smart Chain? Yep. What does that mean? We'll just send it. Fuck it. You know, anyway, so thank you, seriously. That it's been really, really cool working with you guys. And now, I mean, seriously, like, how many people in the uplift are gonna be, because like, and this is, I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I'll like drop a little bomb on you guys. People are gonna be able to buy worlds with Lithium, right? So okay. It'll be in the billions, but you'll get a map. Right, Uplift's gonna keep the rail, but you still have the land. Like, you make bank, large bank, like holy mackerel bank. So, when do we see collections specifically deciding to start a whole new collection on Nefty for the sole purpose of earning lithium, so that they can pile that lithium into buying one of these worlds to make a shit ton by selling all those NFTs? Next week, apparently. Right?
Let's hope so. Yes, no, yes.
You know, like it's inevitable, and I don't like it. You know, the cost is gonna be it's in the billions, right? It's gonna be high. It's not gonna be an easy thing to do. But now, you know, you're gonna have a mechanism to create those economies of scale, so that it makes sense for, you know, somebody who want to go out and make a collection to actually do that. So, damn, Daniel. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah, so you're saying I need to buy bigger miners? I mean. Like, you could do that, or you could create a collection, some cool thing that people are going to want to buy, and charge lithium for it. Like that, honestly, like a good collection that way would be a lot faster.
Anyway. And good call. I can't believe I haven't thought about this yet. But that's a great call, Morton, and we're so going to do that. We're so going to do an exchange roundtable. Or a staking roundtable. We'll get Jonah, we'll get Juan, we'll get Bonds and the guys over from our planet. We'll pull all these wax people together, and we'll throw you on a panel, and we'll just, you know, we'll just basically shut down the world for five hours, probably not, but shut down the world for 1 hour while you guys go to town and just amp everything that everybody else is doing up. One of the other really nice things I like about you is from the very beginning, you guys were always really humble. And you know, unlike other times in the space sometimes where people go throat to throat, you guys have always really respected what Atomic Hub's brought, and you've always said, you know, we wouldn't be here without them. We wouldn't be here without their standard. And I just think it's really cool that, like, even people buying on Nefty, they're still going to get a little bit back from that, right? It's really a really good example of like a trickle down sharing the wealth type of concept, right? You're amping up their, sorry.
Yeah, and I think that's very important what you say, because all of this would not be possible if it's not because of Atomic, because the contract, they designed the contract like that from the beginning. The contract they have for the Atomic marketplace, it's designed like that, to have a taker and a maker fee, and that allows to have multiple marketplaces on the Wax ecosystem, and everybody being able to get a piece of the pie. So that, for me, that's amazing. I as you said, I respect those guys a lot, and yeah, it's cool. And I think that somehow I feel it's a shame that now they see us more as a competitor than before. And yeah, we are a competitor, of course, but I also think that it would be very cool to do some things together. And when I mean together, it's not only with Atomic Hub, maybe also NFT Hive, and maybe even Wax, for example. I think it's stupid that we have to start working on a verification process, and at some point maybe NFT Hive will say, oh, we will have our verification process, and then everybody has a verification process. For me, that's absolutely stupid. Wax should be orchestrating a unified verification process, and that's how it should work.
Could someone?
Sorry.
Or we could do it ourselves if we start talking with the different marketplaces.
Right. Like, what if you set it up? What if you set it up so that you just had a verification engine, right? Like some version of like Eden OS or something like that, right? So you basically have like some way you figure out what the key indicators are that you want to have. You make a program and a machine or a business, frankly, to say, hey, like, get verified, right? Now that verified stamp, like, couldn't I, standing something else up, just use that if it was an NFT? Then you create the standard, kind of like what Elon Musk does. He goes, creates an amazing electric car and then makes a bunch of charging stations and then gives the IP for those charging stations away for free. Because now there's charging stations everywhere and everybody else is using a standard. It was fucking genius.
Absolutely, and maybe we can do it. What I think is that we need to come up as a community, as the Wax blockchain. We should define, okay, this is what matters. We should know who is selling. We should know, I don't know. We should define a list of criteria that has to be met before someone has the verified or whitelisted or whatever label, right? I think it's not only up to us to say, okay, this is what is needed. I think that's something that we should come up together as a community, because in the end, what we want to do is, well, we want to know somehow who are we doing business with, and we want to know that that these people are not going to disappear and leave the community with only a lot of useless NFTs, and they go away with a couple of $100,000 US. So that's not nice. So in the end, that's what we want to prevent by verifying
right
collections. Yeah.
So is this a thing that you guys are working on? Sorry if you guys mentioned this already, because I really want to mint on NB and add the collaboration smart contract so it's easier for multiple creators to get paid for each sale resale. Is that something that you guys are working on?
Let me understand this. To mint on NeftyBlocks and add the collaboration. You mean like sharing revenue? For example, say you are doing a collab with another one or two collections, and you want the share of each one distributed to the different parts.
Yeah.
We already have that. And it's available for all the collections, level 3 staking collections. Just need to ask us, please, Juan, configure this. The share should be 30% here, 20% here, and 50% here, and we will just configure it for you. We have been using that for months. Maybe we haven't advertised that as we should.
Hold on. I'm calling MBlue. Hey, MBlue, can you pop on the stream right now? I'm gonna blow your freaking mind. Bring them. I got one on Nefty. I'm gonna blow your fucking head off. Not in a bad way. That sounded terrible. Already did. All right. We'll wait.
Welcome to the office, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
This is our waiting phase. We just sit here in silence. Waiting for Emily.
That's how I wait for Emily. Very impatiently and kind of mad, but I'm not mad. No. Yeah, Peter, that's exactly why it is called. The Yoshi Drops literally needs this right now. I've been thinking in terms of, okay, TC actually was like, hey, let's make some Corey music NFTs or whatever, right? And like I've wanted to do that for a long time. But we didn't really have a plan yet, right? And no matter what I do, I want to make sure that if I'm going to release any music NFTs, it's going to be through Yoshi Drops, right? So what does that look like? And then so we're talking about a bunch of different ways to do that. What's up? Love is the answer.
How's it going?
We want to figure out, okay, like me as just like a up and coming artist, right? Like, how do I get part of the Yoshi Drops ecosystem? And so we're toying around with a bunch of ideas like that, where I can like mint 100 NFTs or whatever. And one of the things that we're working on, not only for us but for long term, is how do we get to the point where I can get a share of the secondary market on my little sub collection on Yoshi Drops, right? And we don't really have the tools to do that yet. And so, Blue, the reason why I freaked out and said you guys need to get over here is NeftyBlocks already has it. NeftyBlocks can configure for us, right? They can configure for us. Like Corey runs his little sub collection through Yoshi Drops, and like Corey gets 50% of XYZ template or whatever. Do I have that right, Juan?
Yes. The only thing is that then we will have to give you a contract that you have to use as the beneficiary of that drop or the beneficiary of whatever for that collection, and then you receive the money there, and the contract takes care of splitting the revenue wherever it has to go.
I love you.
It's making so easy.
This is like what, the 10th mind-blowing update of the hour. Dude, two. This isn't even the
we
first.
Start out and I'm like, hey, Blue Deck's gonna launch on October 14th probably, and everyone's like, yeah, what's Juan have to say? And Juan comes out like, well, good story, bro. You can in a couple days probably use Lithium or Shipple or freaking Yoshi BK to sell NFTs. Fucking drops his mic. Like, we could have ended the show right there. Woo! I can't the level that you guys are innovating at, like if we didn't like you, and of course we love the crap out of you guys, if we didn't like you, we'd still have to use everything you do every day.
Absolutely.
We would. Like you guys are just moving ahead of everybody at a stellar, unbelievable pace. That's really, really fun to watch.
I can't imagine what's next. I know you
right?
come
Like
yeah, come on with Ben sometimes. You just drop these crazy bombs on us, and like here you are again, like not that long after you just did it on the other shows. So, like, this is insane.
The royalties contract is that. I mean that helps us in our mission to completely and totally change the music business.
That's huge.
So good morning, Blue and Nathan. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
Doing
just,
great.
Hanging out.
Yeah, we're just working on the Yoshi Dailies template and how we're going to be rolling that out soon to, all this great music and collaborations is happening in the Yoshi Drops Discord channel. And so we're going to be dropping Yoshi Dailies, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And the only way you're going to be able to acquire these is with Yoshi BK, baby, and empowered by NeftyBlocks.
Yeah, it's funny. We were just kind of having a related conversation. It's insane how the universe works, Makes me want to just like spread my wings in this like sheet that I'm wearing. Feels good. I love Nefty and I love this environment, man. I love the wax ecosystem so much.
It's incredible, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's like, I mean, I needed to tell you that on air because like we were talking about it yesterday. And,
Jim, how you doing?
It exists.
Yeah, I mean the innovation is just accelerating, and I want to commend you, Juan, and your whole team. I know you guys are head down, building like crazy, and you know how you have no idea how appreciated you are and your whole team and what you're bringing to the space. It's unparalleled and fully appreciated. So thank you.
I don't even like.
Thank you, guys. That is this is so humbling. It's yeah. I
freaking love you, dude. Like I sound like, you know, yeah. Even if we hated you, we'd still have to use your stuff, and we don't because you're freaking adorable.
That's awesome.
It's that from the beginning, like, you know, we get to pick who we work with and who we talk to all the time, right? And in this space, it's actually really easy. It's like 98% of the people in this ecosystem are just fantastic. But
Yeah.
you guys and your whole team are just like a joy to collaborate with anyway. And you know, I can't believe you guys have freaking royalties already set up. Like that's like, I can't even, like, we've got like huge plans for Yoshi Drops, and this is just, that was something we were gonna figure out. And you're like, yeah, hold my beer.
Takes off so much pressure.
So when will this be available, Juan?
Well, it's already available for all the level 3 collections. You just have to contact us and let us know where do you want it configured, and then we configure it and we tell you you need to do to put this as the beneficiary of this drop, and that's it.
Nice. How many benefit? Let's say you've got, for example, 4 different collaborators working on a piece. You can add.
Yeah, that's fine. You can add 4, and you say this one has 20%, this one 20%, this one 30, and this one 30, and it just works.
It's so good.
Yeah, we have been using this because in the past, well, still now, we have when people are not level 3 or whatever, and they want pre-minted packs, we have the revenue share scheme, and we have been using it with this, and there have been many collabs where, for example, we did a drop for I don't know, the Bitcoin Kids, I think it was, and it was Joel Com also there, and we just split it, and everybody received their share of the collaboration. So yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
let's beta test this like with the quickness.
Now, is that is that a contract that does all that splitting, or is it
it's a
off-chain?
contract. It's a contract. Everything that we do, we try to do it always with a contract. We have seen that many other platforms in the space have many things that happen off chain, and we try to do everything with contracts. And sometimes we really need to go off chain, but yeah, if possible, we do it with a contract, because that's really decentralized, and that's what really gives transparency and what helps the ecosystem grow.
What does it feel like to be Superman?
I don't know, because I'm not Superman.
Oh, we disagree.
We disagree, Juan.
You know what I like?
Here's
like,
a question. Sorry, Jimmy, you finish your thought. I'm gonna not forget this.
No, I was just gonna say what I like is the fact that you already have all this stuff built and you don't talk about it. And somebody's like, "We want to use this," and you're like, "Oh yeah, it's already built." Like this is like the 3rd time I think this has happened to us.
Yeah, there's no ego.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
this is
great.
why,
Sorry, go
Jimmy.
ahead,
I'm
Greg.
excited we keep doing this show just so that we can keep being at least in some small part a central node where this stuff gets kind of discovered and mixed up in the idea blender. You know what I mean? So Nefty, I'm about to shoot Yoshi Drops in the foot a little bit, but can you guys take 1% every time you implement that, please?
How's that?
Take 1% every time you set up a royalty steal.
Oh, that's
Just do it.
Might be,
Don't argue. Just do it.
Okay.
Like, we would take that deal right away, because we could always go build it ourselves if we want to, right? And it's like an inconsequential number for us, and it makes sure that you guys are, and like what you guys do with that, like give it to fucking the whole ecosystem if you want to, whatever, doesn't matter, right? But you're creating an immense amount of value for us, and then therefore for everybody else. It makes sense to me that you guys would take a tiny little slice of that. And if it's on a contract, it's just like that. It's a template, right? They just start with that.
Or they just become a collaborator and just take the 1%.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like they just like in the list of
Yeah,
any collaboration deal with Nefty, it starts with Nefty getting 1% and whoever else gets 99% split however many ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Right? It does. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are making shit happen.
Absolutely. It's insane. You guys are moving the entire industry forward and then like acting like super humble. Like we didn't do anything.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in tech.
It's really fun. And like, as I operate as like the worst negotiator ever, but and I actually for the record, don't think that's true. I just hope that it's funny. Like that kind of interaction. Blue, am I crazy here? Like, should I just shut my mouth and or does that make a lot of sense?
No, that makes sense. I mean, of course, I mean, you build this tool that everybody needs. You should definitely prosper from it. I mean,
right.
It's a win-win-win.
I mean, it uses the technology to totally redefine the 1%. Since when has the 1% ever given 99% back?
It doesn't make any sense, but I love it anyway.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, it makes it think about how it puts you guys in an incentivized position to want to seek those out now, right? Which I think only helps the ecosystem. Because basically, like it puts you guys in a position where every one of those deals is amazing for the long term, and then it's amazing for the entire long term of the Nefty ecosystem too, right? So you're creating that engine that will continually turn over for the rest of time. Like anytime there's any economic activity on those collections, you're going to have a throughput on that. And again, like you could redirect some of that to the rewards or whatever, right? Like however you guys want to play with that or whatever. And it just makes sure that you guys are around for as long as we need you, which apparently is going to be the rest of time.
Well, and for Yoshi drops, this is very important piece of the puzzle because we're going to be working with thousands of artists, right? And a lot of those artists will have collaborators, and so this is something that's really messy at this stage, and one reason that is holding us back from accelerating faster is because if we grow too fast before we have this figured out, then it's just going to be this whole hornet's nest of, oh shit, right?
Yeah.
So, this is a piece that will help us accelerate faster. So that's exciting because this, that whole royalty split that's, instant and automatic and unquestionable, right, is what the music industry needs. And that's our whole mission here, is to flip the script on the music industry that is so broken from a monetary stance and how artists are paid and valued. They're the last ones getting paid. They're creating the art, but they're the last ones to get paid, and oftentimes getting paid the least, and sometimes waiting 3-4 years before they see a payment, and sometimes never seeing a payment because they have to go beg for it and prove that they did it. So this is a game changer for an industry that really desperately needs to evolve.
And this is completely different because you get your revenue in real time. Every time somebody buys a pack, immediately you receive your share. You don't have to wait until the sale is over. You don't have to wait for anything. Every time a transaction occurs, you get your share of the pie.
I love that.
That's big in music too, because people have to wait so long to get paid.
Can it be in, let's say, for example, so in the future, there'll be Wax, there'll be Lithium, there'll be Shipple, there'll be Yoshi. So will it split any currency that it's being sold in or just Wax for now?
Well, right now, we can split. I think we can split any currency that it's being sold in. I will have to double check that because so far we have used it with Wax only, but the contract should support whatever contract it is, whatever token it is.
Okay, well, I guess primary would be typically Wax until that changes on the Atomic Hub side to where they list multiple currencies.
Why on Atomic Hub?
Sorry?
Why on Atomic Hub?
Well, because I'm
thinking you missed that first update.
You missed that part because our marketplace will be out next week.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, you weren't here for bomb number 900.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's awesome. Holy.
But yeah, first step, we're releasing the marketplace, and Wax will be the way to pay. But over time, we will start accepting Nefty first, and then we will start with all the other tokens.
Sweet.
We have to prepare some conversions on the back, because in the end, with the Atomic Hub contract, everything has to be done with Wax. So yeah, we need to do some tweaking there before we can release it for everybody.
Hey, how are you guys going to make sure that the liquidity pools are deep enough?
We already have that, and we check constantly if the liquidity pools are deep enough. And
I was fishing for a Blue DAC reference. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, but that's automated, and that's something you should know. If the liquidity pool falls below a certain level, the token will disappear, and you will not be able to configure drops with that token. So you have to make sure that the pools have enough liquidity.
And that's going to be amazing too. So what they're talking about is, setting it up so that we basically, we have this beautiful relationship where we get to basically be the crash test dummies for all the new crazy awesome token shit that goes on NeftyBlocks, and I am here for it, right? So we're driving depth in the Shipple pair and the Lifting pair and the Yoshi BK pairs. We're playing around with that, and that's fun. Like before Blue DAC obviously I think it's going to just like take care of that, but we're gamifying it. It's fun, whatever. So what you're saying is, down the road, like Aether, for example, could say, okay, we want to take payment in Aether, and you guys are going to say, okay, your Aether Nefty pool or Aether Wax pool or whatever is going to have to be at a sufficient depth, right? There has to be enough liquidity in there so that we can handle the volume back and forth, because you guys have to get back to Nefty, because Nefty is what you send your guys' rewards out, right? Is that basically it?
Yeah, well, it's not forced that it's Nefty. It can also be Wax, and in the future we can choose anything, because the rewards come from a pool that it's predefined for rewards, and we don't touch it.
Okay.
This Nefty, well, we could use it for marketing, we could use it for promotions, we could even use it for extra rewards or whatever, but it's not. It doesn't have a fixed utility or destination. We can we can play with that, but in the end, well, we live from fees, so we need to be able to exchange those fees from
just for paying electricity, internet bills.
Yeah, we still live in the real world, so
I'm here for it. No, that's entirely, and really, this is what this kind of thing is what made me obsessed with the Blue DAC idea in the first place, right? It's like there's the one thing that Alcor wasn't doing. Like you have all these swap pools in these markets that have a limited depth on purpose, because nobody really has any good reason to be in those things, and it just the risk to reward profile wasn't high enough. So like, how do you make a risk to reward profile that's so fucking amazing that you can 10 to 100x the depth of the pools? And so we're gonna do that, and maybe on time on October 14th, just like winky wink wink.
Cool. Yeah. And yeah.
No, I was going to say, so the Nefty market, which is coming, I think you said in about a week?
Yes.
Okay. Now, is that using the atomic asset standard, or are you creating a new standard?
No. It's fully using the atomic asset standard. And when you publish something on the NeftyBlocks market, it will be on Atomic Hub. When you publish something on Atomic Hub, it will be on NeftyBlocks. The difference here is that for NeftyBlocks, everything will be on the collection page. So every collection will have its own marketplace. So you can go and browse NFTs from that collection. You will not have the distraction and the noise from other collections. So the idea is that if you're a fan of Yoshi, then you go to the Yoshi marketplace and you can get whatever you need there without somebody else stealing the attention and getting people away.
Wow. Hey, that is amazing. Corey or Jimmy, what's the time mark on that? Because I need some people to hear that.
It's minute 58.
Minute 58?
Yeah.
Or 1 hour, 1 minute 58, or
no, just
not minute 58.
Before 1 hour.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh no, okay, 50. Right. Okay, I got it. 58.
I mean, you'd think we've been here for 3, the amount of shit that we've learned.
This is the thing, like, anyone, and I've said this like 9 times in this conversation, anyone even contemplating getting into the marketplace space, just like you're officially in Nefty's wake. And you might do well, but like you'll be playing catch up the whole time.
Or learn to ski.
Or learn to ski. Nailed it. Little bit of wakeboarding, a little bit of drafty draft. Yeah.
Wow.
And Juan and the whole NeftyBlocks team, you guys are all you want to collaborate with everybody else in the space, right? Like the same way that I know Blue and Nathan and Jimmy are, and of course, I myself, like the win-win-win ecosystem, like all this work that all of us are doing, there's always going to be a way to figure out that win-win-win that it just creates that rising tide that lifts all ships.
I love it.
Nefty Blocks is the tide.
It's
Okay.
Yep.
I gotta go buy some Nefty.
All right.
or should I say I gotta buy more Nefty.
Yeah, right. Just stacking it like crazy. It's gonna be an exciting time. Nathan and Blue, thanks for just like popping on when I like just screaming at you guys on Telegram to get over here.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna go flip over and work on Yoshi dailies now. Thanks for having us in. Thank you, Juan. Thank you, the whole team.
Thank you.
You guys are just killing it. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Blue, I want to
just
drop
a couple
I
announcements.
Hold on. I want
Sorry,
to drop
go
a music NFT on Yoshi Drops really, really soon and take a little slice of the secondary market. Like let's beta test the shit out of this like this week.
Yes.
Or something insane. Let's rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Let's go.
A couple things on our side before we go. Corey is going to take a little vacation, so we won't be here for a while. But tomorrow, 1 a.m., if you're around Eastern Standard Time, we have our roundtable. It's going to be pretty sweet. We're going to do Aussies on the Block. Next week, we'll be back on a Thursday for our roundtable. It's going to be epic. We're going to do post-Eden coverage. We're going to have Dan Larimer, Brandon Lovejoy, Zach Gall, and Chris Barnes on the roundtable to talk about the first Eden proper election. On Friday, we've got a couple shows, one with Everstake and one with a new up-and-coming Play to Earn project. We'll be back next week in full force. So come hang out. Thanks for sharing all of this on this show and all of our other network shows. We appreciate you. Thanks for engaging with us on Yoshi Drops and the Uplift World and Legend. And we're happy that you're here with us. And we'll see you guys all next time.
And now I want to see Daniel Day's ass soon.
Yes, I saw that comment too. Show us that tattoo, sir.
I mean, go get it, and then we will all look at your bum on air.
Have your butt come on the show.
Yeah, nailed it. Yeah, I mean, you're also invited, but mostly your ass. That's awesome. All right, thanks, guys. All right, you want to do that?